Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Rush Hour podcast. I'm Harrison Werner, here with my co-host Dr. Rush, and let's rush into it.
Harrison, good to see you again, man. I hope your spring break was good. I know we took last week off as well as spring break.
Yep.
I hope it was a good time for you and got some rest
Mm-hmm.
because the rest of school year is going to just zoom by. It's the sprint to the finish.
Yep.
Hey, before we get into our topics today, quick shout out to Parrish, our varsity girls athletic programs. Harrison, I don't know if you follow them, but just a few things. So our girls tennis team back to back district champs, and they're on their way to states a
Wow.
week after next. Our softball team is undefeated in district
Mm-hmm.
play and 9-1 overall. They beat Nolan last night, and our girls lacrosse team undefeated, headed to hopefully a second state title in the last 3 years. If you haven't seen, listeners, if you haven't seen any of those girls teams play, go check them out. Really exciting spring for girls athletics here at Parrish. All right, so we got obvious topics, right? Obvious
Yeah.
topics. The first one is it's March Madness time, right?
Uh-huh.
It's that time of year. Men's basketball tournament, always a good time. Let's dive into this one. First game of the night, Saturday, is Illinois against UConn. What do you got?
I mean, first of all, the Final Four, I think, this year really matches up, I think, how it was meant to be. I never have picked a bracket where all four Final Four teams have been one seeds because that arguably really never happens.
Right.
Arizona and Michigan both make it. That's going to be an amazing game. But that UConn Illinois game is going to be really good too. As a 3 seed, Illinois, I would say, that's more of an underdog to get there. And UConn is coming off their best win of the season against my favorite team, Duke, and that was
Dude, that was a
crushing
crazy
moment.
that was a crazy ending.
Pretty crushing moment, but I'm gonna take UConn. I think the coaching. I think they have one of the best coaches, tied with the shooting, and they have that big man. I don't think that Illinois is gonna be able to stop them, but I think it's gonna be a really competitive game. And honestly, UConn showed that they can come back against really
Right.
any team in the country. Honestly,
I always find it interesting. Obviously, I've been on the planet a little bit longer. I find it interesting that after an emotional win, and obviously that the way that game ended for
Yep.
UConn Duke game, it's hard to sort of get that energy back. I do agree. I think this game will be a very close game. I think they're two really great teams. UConn's interesting because solo balls, he's kind of up and down, and he hasn't really showed up much in the tournament. So I think that's a question for UConn. On the Illinois front, they just live and die by the three. And, these two teams played each other earlier in the season, and UConn beat Illinois by 13, 74-61, I believe was the score. But in that game, Illinois was 6 of 29 from three-point land, and so they sort of live and die by the three. So I think pretty early you'll have this. Is this going to be Illinois' kind of deal, or is UConn too much? So
yeah. I think the most deserving team in the Final Four, I think it's UConn. I think that they're coming out the hardest region of the bracket. Duke, St. John's, Kansas, Michigan State, and themselves. Those are just the top 5 seeds. And I think it went for UConn and Duke. They both had a hard road to get there. Duke obviously played a 16 seed, so much easier. But they played TCU, which is another great team. I know one of my friends, Asher. He really thought that TCU would have a shot, and right when UConn stole the ball, I kind of had a sense. This always happens to Duke. They have the greatest talent, greatest NBA talent. They've produced the best,
right.
and they just find a way to never be able to win. Not never, but not usually be able to
Right.
win as much as they can. So I just think UConn is really deserving of this. So yeah, I will not be surprised at all. They have Illinois minus 1.5, which means it's going to be a pretty good game. So I'm going to take UConn.
All right, I'm going to be the contrarian, and I'll tell you why at the end of our little segment here. But I'm gonna go Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Illinois. All right, so the late game, University of Michigan go blue against the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona, number one team for much of the season. Obviously, looks really really strong. But this is kind of another game where it's battle of two titans, two very different styles, but really really great basketball.
Yeah, I as much as I hate to say it, I know obviously Duke beat Michigan, but I think Michigan's gonna win here. They're so deep. Like I think Michigan's one of the deepest teams in the bracket, if not the deepest team. And Arizona's amazing. I think again it's gonna come down to the final minute or two.
Yeah.
But eventually, like we saw with a bunch of the games, besides the ones that were really a buzzer beater, most of the games were really really close. And then the final 2 minutes, it kind of separated to a 5-10 point game. So I don't know if that's how it's going to pan out, but I think Michigan's going to be able to really take care of business. They're a great team.
I don't have a lot to add. I agree with you that it's two great teams. I totally agree with you on the depth part of Michigan and their size. I mean, the size of their guys. And I wonder about when it's the last 5 minutes of the game, how much Arizona has been worn down by the depth and size of Michigan.
Yeah.
So I also have Michigan in this one.
Yeah.
Which brings us back to a moment where you were certainly not alive, but I was in high school, and it was a semifinal game, 1989 semifinal game, Illinois against Michigan, arguably the two best teams in the country, but they met in the semifinal.
Yeah.
And Michigan won kind of at a buzzer beater. Sean Higgins had a put back, but Illinois was amazing that year. So it's a little bit of a nostalgia just to see both of those teams back in the Final Four. So, all right. So then you got Illinois. What you have UConn and Michigan. I have Illinois and Michigan. Who you got in the finals to win it?
I don't want to see Michigan win. So I think honestly I think UConn's gonna win it. I am not super strong on that because I know Michigan's a great team, but I really think that UConn is gonna be able to.
Showing your Boston.
I think they're gonna pull it out. I think they're gonna pull it out, but it will be by a very, very, very slim margin for sure.
I think if my two teams that I've chosen go. I like Michigan over Illinois. Again, like we said, depth and size.
Yeah.
They're just a tough.
I'm sure
tough
almost 90% of the people are picking whoever wins that Michigan-Arizona game. I mean, that's really the championship.
Right.
But,
right.
You know, I think it's so hard to tell. It's March, so now it's April.
That's exactly.
Just I don't know if you saw, but like there was one women's bracket going into the Sweet 16 that was perfect. There was no men's bracket.
Right.
And really quickly, there's better odds of winning the lottery 2 times in a row than a perfect bracket.
Wow.
Getting hit by lightning 6 times in your life and getting a perfect bracket. And getting a royal flush in poker 3 times in a row than a perfect bracket.
Wow.
Absolutely wild.
Wow.
9.1 and 9.2 quintillion.
Wow. That's some math for you right there.
I think April, honestly, is they call it March Madness, but I think April could be the best month of sports. And you have Final Four.
For both.
Masters.
Right, Masters,
yeah,
exactly.
You have some NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and the NFL draft. I mean, what gets better than that?
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so Harrison, for the homework assignment this week, it's connected to the men's Final Four.
Okay.
How many players have won 3 or more NCAA national championships?
How many players? I'm going to go with, and this is like obviously
all time.
All time.
Yep.
3 or more. That's
2 or more. Well, yeah. The answer is 3. Both of these guys won 3. It's 2. So you tell me, you know who the 2 guys are who've won 3?
I'm pretty sure Kareem.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, absolutely.
Kareem
Lou Alcindor, for those of you who are from a different era.
I don't I think I'm blanking.
Probably wouldn't know. But also in that same era, UCLA they had that dynasty. The gentleman's name is Henry Bibby.
Okay.
Yeah, Henry
So
Bibby.
when Kareem played, so those are only two players.
Yeah,
Wow.
crazy.
That's
Crazy.
I don't know when that's gonna be done again.
I don't know either.
That's absolutely wild.
All right, so we're gonna do a new kind of portion of our show today,
Yes.
and we're gonna do hot takes. So for the next 4 minutes or so, Harrison and I are each gonna share 3 hot takes with a quick response, and we're just gonna go for it and see what happens.
Yes.
All right, Harrison, you go first.
All right. So my first is Shohei Ohtani right now is the most talented baseball player ever, even more unique than Babe Ruth.
I have no notes on that one, as the kids say. He is amazing.
I mean, that's basically saying he's in my opinion, he's the greatest of all time. I mean, I think people are gonna say, that's not really a hot take, but a lot of to say he's already the greatest of all time. I mean,
Wow.
he's absolutely amazing.
Speaking of greats, Paul Skeens, right-handed pitcher for the Pirates, amazing. Last 2 years has had an ERA under 2 for the season. In his first outing, he got absolutely blown up. Pitched better last night. But my hot take is, even though his ERA is over 9.5 at the moment, that he will also have the 3rd consecutive year of an ERA under 2.
Oh, I definitely think so. I think he's one of the best pitchers in baseball right now, and I think he's pitched twice.
That's right.
I mean, he's gonna have the season just started.
Exactly.
I mean, a week ago.
Gonna have to throw some shutouts, but he's definitely capable.
He's definitely gonna have some absolutely monster games this year. So I would not be surprised if he finishes like that, for sure. So my next one is, and I have a point for this. Victor Wembanyama will eventually be better than LeBron James.
Ooh.
So just hear me out. So through Wemby's first 150 games, he has more points than Durant. He has more rebounds than Barkley. He has more three-pointers made than Curry. And he has more blocks than Olajuwon. Okay, I personally think he's going to win DPOY this year, and eventually he's going to have MVPs for consecutive years. There's no one in the league that can stop him on either side of the floor. He's the most impactful player in the NBA right now.
I love that hot take. I don't, the thing I worry about for somebody like him is he's so tall. I know we're about injuries. That's true for anybody, really.
Yeah.
But really great stats on that. So I love that hot take. That's a good one.
I mean, if he continues to do what he's doing, he's just literally an alien. He's a foot taller, foot and 2 inches taller than Steph Curry, and has more 3-pointers than him. Doesn't make sense.
Automatic ball and strike, the ABS system that they are putting into MLB. They tested it out in AAA and minor leagues.
Yeah.
They put it in this year. I think it's going to improve the game in some ways and eliminate some of the terrible umpiring that happens. Even though I'm a purist, I think it'll actually help a little bit. Particularly, you don't want to have big games, playoff games, World Series games decided by an umpire that is trying to make the game about him and not about the players. I think it's ultimately a good thing for baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can go both ways. I mean, you want to see more of obviously you want to see more pure what they really think, but then if they're trying to rig the game or do something like that, obviously. But I agree with that for sure. I think it's gonna lean the game more in the correct side. So my final one is Joe Burrow will be traded in the middle of next season, if not before.
Wow.
My reasoning is, so the Bengals have 3 players that take up, I think it's over 50% of their cap. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow take up $115 million cap hit.
Okay.
I really do believe, obviously they're going to want to give Jamar Chase the best shot, but I really do believe that the Bengals are in a rebuilding stage. I don't think Joe Burrow hasn't done enough beside, like, he has not done enough in the recent years, obviously getting to the Super Bowl. But the injuries have killed him. And that's ever since he went into the league. Week 1, he tore his ACL.
Right.
So I really think that he has a chance next year, a really strong chance to get shipped somewhere else for some big time.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Mine's going to be controversial. I actually enjoy watching women's basketball, the Final Four and all that stuff. But I've watched for enough years to say that I don't think that it should have 64 teams in it, because I think it should be 32. And I say that just because the first rounds of games are so uncompetitive.
For sure.
The lowest seed to ever win is a 3 seed, and it's no 6 seed or higher has made the Sweet 16 since last century. So, I'm all for equity. I'm all for all of that. And it's always fun to have a chance if you're a 12 seed and all that kind of stuff. But for decades, the first several rounds of the women's tournament is just so uncompetitive. It's not fun to watch.
I think it's almost always a 1 or 2 seed in the Final Four. I have to agree with you 1,000%. You saw I think it was the Michigan-Texas game. In Michigan, the women's team, they lost by like 30. And that was the, I think, Elite 8. And it was a 1 and a 2 seed. I'm pretty sure 1 and 3. So I really, that's a great one. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, I think the viewers for the first, even the round of 32, like real low compared to the men's, which you can really see everyone wants to see almost what happened this year to Duke.
Right, exactly.
And that shakes up everything. But, I mean, obviously the same thing would happen in the women's, but it's never happened.
Right.
And it's never gotten that close. So.
I mean, the Elite 8 and Final Four and final games are always awesome on the women's side. They're always great. So, all right, so last section for today. Let's keep going basketball, but this time we're going to pivot to the NBA. We've got the season's wrapping up, a handful of games left. We've got a big game tonight, OKC against the Lakers.
Yep.
SGA against Doncic and LeBron. That we got that Western side, a whole bunch of different things going on. I think it comes down to, on the West side, really those top 3 seeds: OKC, Lakers, Spurs. Obviously, Wemby, as you just mentioned, is a huge force for them. Those 3 teams not only have superstars, but they have some depth, and they're kind of elite on the Western side.
Yeah, I think I think the West is a more powerful conference than the East. Obviously, I'd want to favorite more towards the Celtics, but I still think there's really only 1 or 2 teams that are legit from the West. I don't think Denver's legit. I know they have Jokic, but I don't think they have enough to back him up.
Agree.
Minnesota maybe. They haven't even clinched yet. They will make it, but Minnesota maybe. Rockets, no. I don't believe in Houston. And with LA, I mean, Luka can keep doing this, but the odds, I really don't see LeBron winning or honestly even getting to another championship. So I think the Lakers are out. I really don't think that they're going to be able to make it, and they do have depth, but it's just not there compared to San Antonio and OKC.
Yeah.
And I have San Antonio coming out of the West. I think they're right up there. They're 2 games behind OKC. I really don't think OKC can handle Wemby.
I'd love to see Western Conference Finals, OKC against San Antonio.
Yeah, that'd be special.
Entertainment.
Entertainment for sure. And then you look over at the East, Detroit, their best player, MVP candidate, when he was playing. He had a collapsed lung a few weeks ago. Don't know when he's going to be back. I hopeful he's okay, but I don't really want him to come back.
Says the Celtics fan.
I think the Celtics, there's obviously a little bit of bias, but I don't think, obviously the Knicks beat us last year, but I think our team's better this year. We've used a lot of, the rookies and the guys who really never got minutes last year. We got, this Baylor Shireman, Jordan Walsh, and Hugo Gonzalez. Those three guys have really stepped up, played quality minutes for us. So I think I have San Antonio and Boston in the finals, which the last time they played, Jaylen Brown got thrown out the first first quarter, I think. So
on the Eastern side, I mean, obviously you talk about Detroit, you talk about Boston, maybe the Knicks, and then it sort of falls off. I agree. There's a little more strength on the Western side, and I'm not saying this to butter you up, but I do think the Celtics are the team to beat on the Eastern side, mostly because they play really great defense. I think they're number one in terms of points allowed, and that's something, especially when you get to playoffs and it's go time, right?
I mean, you saw it last night. I mean, obviously they're playing the Heat, but I mean the Heat were healthy with Bam and Tyler Hero. And yeah, you saw the defense, but you really saw the offense. They scored 53 points in the first quarter.
Right.
Finished with 147 or 149. I really don't think with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown on the floor together, how Tatum would play last night with a 25, 15, and 10 plus triple-double.
They're tough.
It's going to be really hard for a team to beat them. But if there was a team to beat them, I would. If it comes down to the NBA Finals and it's San Antonio and Boston, I'm gonna take this. This actually is not biased, but I'm gonna take Boston because of the experience that they have. Most of the guys on the team have already won a championship. And of course they did play Dallas, but Dallas had a really hard.
Wait, Harrison, you just told me that Wemby's going to be the greatest player of all time. Like, come on, man.
I did, but I don't think Wemby's in his third season, and I don't think that they have enough. I don't think that they have enough experience. I don't think they have enough, even veterans, to really get them there. But dude, in the next few years, you should be expecting a few banners up in San Antonio.
Well, I agree that I would like to see Boston against San Antonio, so I'm with you on that, and then just may the best team win. That'll be also really entertaining.
That's a series that definitely could go to 7. It won't be like last year was amazing, but it won't be like the Celtics Mavs. Mavs didn't get lucky, but wasn't the team I think that everyone wanted to really see. So yeah, I think it should be pretty good this year. Yeah.
All right, so Harrison, you wanna tell the audience what we got for next week?
Yeah, so we got a really special guest coming next week, and I think the topic is gonna be probably one of the best that we've had. Really controversial, but yeah, we have probably one of the biggest guests that we've had on here.
It's very exciting.
Very exciting.
Personally, very exciting for me, and so we'll let you tune in next week on that one. But for now, thanks for listening.
Yes,
have a great weekend ahead.
We'll see
Take care, everybody.